How you
It's
been, bro?
good, man. I'm Giancarlo. Yeah, we met in Miami, man.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
It's good to see you
All right,
again.
cool. We're live.
Sublett. We never met Sublett, but you're a great player. I just see you all the time topping. Doing all the shit I can't do, bro.
Let me turn my camera on real quick. Think we're live. Let me double check. Make sure we're good to go. Yeah, all right, we're good to go.
Kenny, are you with Sand Army too?
Yeah, I'm one of the admins.
Okay, so
Yeah.
we're talking about Sublett. Vegeta Sand Army is a Facebook group that is very
Dedicated to Vegeta.
meme dedicated to Vegeta. They were the ones we were supposed to play y'all, but then it just never happened. For the Hermit Style versus VSA, it just never happened.
Okay.
The boom shot. Yeah, you guys can do that.
I don't know who did that, by the way.
I don't
I
either.
woke up.
I still have no idea.
I literally woke up to like 10 messages like, bro, let me get on the team. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, what are you talking about? There's literally people like, oh, dude, we're going to take down Hermit Style. I'm like, Hermit Style? What are you talking about? That fizzled, though. Yeah, right?
All right, so yeah, we're live. What's up, Dragon Ball fam? It's your boy Eddie Sandler here with some special guests along with some team members today. So I'll let them introduce themselves. On my screen, it's showing next to me. It's Frank Castle. I ain't gonna say your government. We got Giancarlo, Sublett, and Kenny. So yeah, I'll let you guys introduce yourselves in that order. So Mr.
Hey guys,
Mr. Castle, go ahead.
Hello, everybody. Mr. Frank Castle. I go to locals with Eddie, and I'm one of the admins at Vegeta State Army, so
Yeah.
you guys can find me there.
Cool.
What's up, Giancarlo? Bro, your real name's not Frank Castle. I thought the whole time your name was Frank Castle.
Bro,
I thought that was your real name.
You and all his followers, dude. You and all his followers. Frank Castle is a fictional character, my man.
I know the Punisher. I know who the Punisher is. So I thought that was your real name. Anyway, whatever.
There's even people at locals that call him Frank, dude. We just laugh. We're like, Frank? We're like, oh.
Yeah, there's a guy literally, he's like, oh yeah, so you're here, but where's Frank? And I'm like, oh yeah, he's like around the corner. Like, it's Steven.
Savagery, B. All right, continuing with introductions. Where we leave off of? I think Giancarlo?
Yeah, so let's turn.
Oh, hey guys, you know who I am.
Oof. And we got the other half of Vegeta Saints Army down. Go ahead, Ken, give your introduction.
Yo, what's up, guys? This is Ken from Vegeta Saiyan Army. I also go to locals with Eddie.
Yeah, so like these guys might finally do have a chance to go locals now, or some of the people I play against. That's why you guys will see all these memes coming from Vegeta Saiyan Army. They actually personally know me, like in real life. So that's why all the memes start off from there, like the SS4 Bardock memes, the Aaron's lineage, all those memes, man. Because yeah, we're all cool and we're all boys. But for today, we wanted to get into it because going on from the last team talk sessions, right? That time stone is real, boys. I ain't gonna lie to you. It's funny how that last team talk sessions I spoke about Android 13. I'm like, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Like hand destruction, realistically speaking, and best of one should be able to take it over because you're gonna have this mix of control and aggro. And the best thing to stop it is just ripping hands from turn 0. Not turn 1, I'm talking about turn 0, ripping hands. And then that's exactly what happened in the next Westcam event where Android 13, according to another of my local players, I had him on the last few talks going over his deck profile. He went completely undefeated and lost, I think, I don't know what he lost to. I forgot to ask him what's the deck he lost. But he only lost one round. He finished 4th. And then the person who ended up winning that regional was Cell Destruction. It was the Cell Surge hand destruction. So, yes.
What regional was this?
This is the TAC regional. I believe that happened on.
Was that Australia?
On Saturday. I don't know where they're at, but I know it's international.
But it wasn't. Mecca won the North American one, so this way it wasn't a North American regional.
This was in North America. This wasn't North America, but.
The TAC one that went overnight before that one.
Yeah, TAC happened Friday night. Okay. TAC happened Friday night, but over there was already made. It's like Saturday for them already. Like we're
I got
behind
you.
them.
I
Yeah,
got you.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly where they're located. I know it's not in the States though. But yeah. So top four, we had two hand instruction decks going in.
Yeah.
I know the last time we had the team, like especially Giancarlo was on here, and we were talking about the Vajek deck I was gonna do. I told you guys. I said, guys, pick up those SS4 Goku, bro.
I
Pick them up.
said, hey, bro, don't. I
Yeah,
said, hey, Eddie, don't post your list yet because I
yeah.
hadn't bought 4. I
I
bought
tried.
4 for 65 like 3 days ago,
Yeah, someone.
and I got them. I got the. Well, I don't know how long ago I bought them, but I got a couple of them in the mail today,
Yeah,
and
man.
and then today they shot up to 45, and I was like, oh, glad I bought a playset for 65
Someone
because
listen to those team talks. I'm telling you,
yeah.
those SS4 Gokus being able to grab your Gojitas, those new Gogeta promos in Vajeks is just stupid. Like it makes
I'm
zero
not gonna
sense
lie. The
whatsoever.
more I've been playing it, the more I'm like, yeah, this card's pretty mediocre. Like I'm not like
Which
on
one?
paper, I was like, yeah, this card's so good. But so I spent all of last week only playtesting Vegex.
Mm,
There's a kid at my locals. He's like 18. I call him a kid. I think he's like 20. He might be 21 or he. I just call him a kid because I'm an old man now. But
mm.
he wants to get better at the game and he wants to play Vegex. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna play Vegex all week to learn how to play. And so like I just grinded Vegex for like I'm probably like 50 some games deep in Vegex this week. I've never really been a Vegex player, so I had to learn how to play the deck before I could really teach him. And yeah, that deck's pretty good. It's all right.
That deck is going to be something else, boys. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, the one thing Vajeks was missing to just be up there was it's the same thing as Gogeta too, Gogeta Zeno, and both Vajeks was inherent board removal. It just struggled on. That's why when you went against something like Sin and they stuck
Yeah.
that big guy out that says, "Hey, I'm a blocker," and it's just 30k standing out your beefy, Vajeks was like, "Well, damn, I can either go all in and neg because they're just gonna unless you have like." Double Horror Black Man saying or a Quetzalcoatl and a Dark Power Master, they're just gonna replenish the resources. Now it's like it felt so neg in all sense of the word. And if you overcommitted with a battle card, like let's say Fight Against Fate, and you gave it a Majibu Human Extinction attack, they could just haste Shinron it away. But the fact that now all you have to do is being able to attack to remove that bad boy, it's pretty good. But it also
Yeah.
points on another fact where I said, Giancarlo, the one thing I do give the Migra, I'm not gonna lie to you, is that on play board removal. That's one thing that Gogeta was missing. Like you don't have to swing with the Migra in order to just get that. Like you play it and you're paying the taxes off rip. Like it's rough. The fact that you have to be able to attack with Gogeta, it makes it kind of rough, but it doesn't. Only for the sole fact I think Bandai had hit a wall balance of giving it unique because the fact that you can both overwhelm it and both Union Patora, it makes it pretty much you can't really interact with it. As long as you have the energy up, it's hard to interact with the card because it's like, okay, you answered it in this form. You only have one free counterplay a turn. Like you only charismatic, God sealing, all that stuff. It's just only two counterplays you're scared of. It's charismatic and God sealing. You only can do that once per turn. So it's like you use it, all right, cool. Let me get it back the other way. So that's what I was trying to get you guys to see earlier. But
one thing I want to say though is before you move on about the hand destruction, like I'd like to see how much it does before Deborah comes out, or if people play Deborah. Because like
Oh, I
I
can
guess
talk
like
about it. I can talk about
yeah,
this. Sorry to interrupt you.
no,
Okay,
go ahead.
I was not able to. The last two North American regionals, it was PPG and whatever one was last week, the one Mecha Frieza one.
yeah,
I was just busy. I had like random life stuff to do, so I couldn't play it. I would have 100% topped with set one Green Broly, and I'm 100% going to top Miami with set one Green Broly on May 29th.
oh
Um,
man,
Hand destruction right now in the
it's
format
good.
is
Yeah.
no, it's not good, but it's like it's the most broken thing you can play because there's like a handful of matchups that you literally cannot lose if you have any form of competency as a player, and Sublett can attest to this because me and Sublett have just been hand destruction players the entire time we played this game. Like that's like our go-to strategy, like from set one was hand destruction, right? So if you play against Baby, if you play against like King Piccolo is like relatively even, almost I would say almost favored into Broly. Red Broly's pretty hard. Launch is favored into Broly. Freaking Aggro is probably impossible. Like I beat that deck at locals this week, but it was not. I shouldn't have. I just got super lucky. But like, there's just so many like free matchups. Like if you play against Baby, if you play against Mecha Freezer, you're going to win. And it's just like those are two of the most strong decks at week 1, set 13. Two of the strongest decks are Baby and Mecha Frieza, and that deck has like a very, very good game against both of those decks. So like Deborah sucks. I got Deborah 3 times in one game and I still won. It's just like if they Deborah you, like who you don't care. Like they have to tap an energy for it, and 1 energy right now is actually like a lot of energy because like you know what I mean. Like Baby, you know, like I don't know how to describe it, but it's like the games you auto win, Deborah is not going to save them. Games that are relatively even, if they're spending energy on Deborah, then they're not advancing game state. Deborah just is a 2-drop, right? So it just gets swept up by Dormant. There's a lot of factors. Even the 1-drop Gohan that does something very similar to Deborah, like I've had a lot of those played on me in one game as well. And it's just one of those things that's just like, yeah. But there's also matchups you just literally cannot win. Like Aggro again, like you should not be able to win that deck because it's just too good, and you don't really have a win condition in Broly outside of like a 3-drop. So it's like I have to get to turn 3, and they have to be at like 5 cards in hand, and like it's just not going to work out too well for you. I don't know. There's other matchups you can't win. I'm blanking off the top of my head now. But yeah, Dark Broly. You like can't beat Dark Broly because Dark Broly does not care about its hand. They refill their hand twice a game. You probably can't beat Invoker. Like I've stolen games from Invoker before, but like that's a matchup you should never beat Invoker. Like Invoker is literally impossible to hand control. So like that's also like a matchup you shouldn't win. So. But I 100% am entirely confident I would have at least top 16 these regionals with set 1 Broly. 100% confident.
You would have at least X2. Top 16, you also need lucky tiebreakers.
No, I'd have gone straight X1.
It was like all the way up to 39.
Yeah. If you go X2, dude, like it's like playing auto, dude. It's pretty sure like Sublett said. It goes like all the way down to 30 something, dude. Like
I didn't say I'd go X2. I said I would top 16. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Anyway, Red actually gets a new tool to help beat Green in the next set, and it's that counter King Vegeta.
No.
Oh yeah.
It's not, because it only works if you don't pay the energy for Dormant. All you have to do now is pay the energy for Dormant. And again, they can put you in that position, but like all you're doing now is playing one. Again, the benefit of Dark Broly Green Broly, I literally do not have to play any cards. I'm gonna swing with my leader and pass. Eventually, I'm gonna play a Rosie. I'm gonna tap 1 energy for Paragus 1-drop, and I have unisons in the right. Like I want to spend energy, but I literally do not have to. I can just swing lead, play 1-drop, pass. Like you can always play with as much energy up as you want. Like
it's still gonna be a problem if you're not playing around it though.
No, yeah, you'd absolutely have to play around it. If you get a little lax and you like get caught slipping, then they're gonna hit you with that shit. And then you can't even like really. It hits Sparking Death Ball as well. So it's like if you leave 1 energy up for Dormant, then they can hit the Sparking Death Ball. It's definitely a good card. That card is good in general. The I forget it. Imposing Presence. Is that what you're talking about?
No, he's talking about the counter, and I feel like
secret plan or something like that.
I don't know. It looks
hidden plans. Yeah, no, but
hidden plans.
The reason it's not just that card, but it's also like the rest of the deck, because like if they play the Demigra turn 1 or whenever they play it, like just swinging at it is gonna negate 5, and that's like my favorite thing it does, because the Vegeta, right, like the Invader on their side can neg any card ever. So even if they take life,
you are 100% losing that match. Like King Vegeta versus Broly, there's no way Broly loses because.
I'm talking about Green, because he was talking about like how that card can like fight Green, but it needs like 3 energy anyway. So like you need to be at turn 3 at least.
I got King Vegeta cannot beat Green Broly. Like I can kill your field spell. Like
hand destruction. Yeah, you're gonna lose.
You can't. You have no hand in like it doesn't draw enough cards. Like there's no way you're losing that matchup. And then like that's a deck. I'm sorry. I know you guys are Vegeta Saiyan Army. Sorry, but like that's a deck I've just seen people hype on. Like like just because like the general community is hyped doesn't mean the deck's going to be seen at Miami because it's a much smaller player size. It's like we know who's going to be there. Like all of the guys from your locals are going to be there. Like some people from PPG is going to be there. MRG is going to be there. They're going to be playing like whatever they consider the highest tier 1 deck.
That'll
And
be
it's like
King Vegeta. I ain't gonna lie. I already see it's gonna be King Vegeta. 100%.
But like I think decks we're going to see, and again I'm just like we're gonna have to just see. I could always be wrong. Is like Mega Frieza and Baby. I keep saying this over and over again. Those are without a doubt the 2 best decks. Week 1, Week 5 that changes, but Week 1 it's Mega Frieza and Baby, and then Aggro Sin is still broken, and then like every red deck is like not amazing because like every other deck gets better, and every red deck kind of stays the same, and then we don't know which. I would just consider Dark Broly to be the best black deck, but like I'm not actually sure which is better anymore. I don't after playing Vegex so much, I'm like I could see how this is better than Dark Broly in certain matchups, but like it depends. It's everything right now is matchup dependent, so there's always that. And then hand destruction's like standing off in the corner. It's like I have a chance to top 2, like.
Yeah.
As much as we love Vegeta, we're not biased. Like, cause Ken actually loves Green Broly, and he plays it forever, and he's amazing with it.
Ken
And I'm just
plays
like,
Mecha, bro. That boy
Ken
is a traitor, man.
But that's his like, but that's his baby though.
Yeah.
And, as much as we love King Vegeta, I actually do think it's incredible, and I wonder, like against hand destruction, like I wonder how good the Mythica Boar leader is. Because I don't know if I'm reading it right. Is it actually draw 3 cards if you do the second effect?
Yeah.
On the player, or am I? Yeah. What? Why is not a lot of people talking about that? Like I feel like that guy.
I have only played against Juha, and I don't know. I haven't spent any time trying to play the deck, and I've probably only played against it like 5 or 6 times. It does nothing and then it loses. Like it's just a deck with like a very like I wouldn't call it a mediocre win condition because that 8 drop that you tap 4 energy for, like you read that card and you're like, holy cow, this card is amazing. But then it's like I have to tap 4 energy for it, and it's like just one of those things where you're just kind of like, oh yeah, this deck's straight, but it's like it's another stall deck that just wins on like turn 5 or 6, and there's probably just a better option. Drawing 3 is cool, but like floodgates just exist, so like like you just save dormant until they use their leader ability, and then like they can't pressure you, and like they have to choose whether they want to attack with their leader a second time or pressure you with a battle card or whatever, so it's like, again, I've only played like 5 or 6 games against that deck, and not even really with Green Broly, just other decks, so it's like I honestly don't know. I think the leader overall is like decent to like above average, but I'm just not like a huge authority on that.
Yeah, I think the whole thing with I think the whole thing with Mecha Cabrera, it's that I don't know if this is Bandai's logic of it. Well, this is what I just perceive, that they threw Mecha Cabrera in there to justify their reasoning of not touching Dark Broly. Because realistically speaking, Mecha Cabrera becomes like tier 0 if it's only Dark Broly. If it's going against Dark Broly, it's just like, I don't know how you win. You just literally, even if you outplay your opponent can still misplay and they'll still beat you because you'll never have a drop and they'll start taking your guys. But when it comes, it's just like you said, when it comes to any other deck that's outside of Dark Broly, it's like you're a worse, like, I guess it's like an Invoker where it stalls you, but then you don't really have that guaranteed finisher. It's just like, okay, what do you do?
It's like Baby too, because like Baby has whatever Fu and Turning the Tide, and they can back either of those cards up with a 0 mana counter. So it's like you're playing all those cards in Baby, or like Invoker just has a strictly better win condition. One of its 2 win conditions is strictly better than that 4 drop, and then like you're attacking with like 15Ks, and it's like that's just not really good enough anymore. Even if you attack with like 3 15Ks a turn, like a lot of the times it's just not that good enough. But again, like Mecha Cabrera has really good matchups against Mecha Frieza. It's good, and against Vegex, it's really good.
Dark Broly
against Team Piccolo
was the ones like you get if you're Mecha Cabrera and you get matched up against Dark Broly and Vegex all day, you expect to do well.
How does it beat Dark Broly?
How does he beat Dark Broly? You don't know, Matt. You get no advantage whatsoever when you play against Mecha Cabrera.
How not? Yeah, how not?
It takes the cards
You
out of
haven't
the
played.
like
You haven't
you can't
played
cycle
Like,
Dark
it.
Broly
right?
versus
No,
Mega.
it takes like no, because
Yeah, like
people said the
one.
same thing against Shroom and
Yeah.
Salsa.
Mm.
Literally,
Yep.
people would message me and be like, "Yo, Shroom and Salsa, is Dark Broly still playable?" I'm like, bro,
Yeah,
don't worry about it.
but
But
Shroom and
listen.
Salsa
I
didn't really
understand.
take your
Mechanic
cards
Convert is
though.
a better deck.
Mm.
It only takes 4 cost or less, so it can't take your Demigra or any of your Dark Brolys, and then it removes roughly 2 cards from your drop a game, and then you don't care because like whatever. I don't care about 2 cards in my drop. You know what I mean?
True, but that I don't. If you were to see enough, I don't know how Yuha plays it. I have to see his list. But then, if I were to build you a Meki list and you were to play Dark Broly, you're gonna say, "How does this deck win against Meki?" I think, like I said,
I summoned Demigra and I attacked with
this man
Demigra,
with his
and then
Demigras be
bro, like, what do
this
you
thing
mean?
answers
How
to
do I
everything,
win?
bro.
I win with Vegex and Dark Broly the same way every single game. Is on turn 2, I summon Demigra, and then I just play better. I play just slightly better than my opponent the entire game, and then I just win. Like, that's just how I play Dragon Ball. It's like I play slightly better than my opponent the entire game. Sometimes I play way better. Sometimes I play worse. But I want to summon Demigra on turn 2 and then just outvalue them. And then I don't care if we get to turn 9. Like, I'm just going to outvalue you
Man,
and I'm going to win. Now, again, with Dark Broly, the game ends on turn 3 to 4. So, like, no, we're not going to turn 9. But,
yeah.
you know what I'm saying? That's why I'll play Green Broly. I'll go to turn 9. I don't care.
I'll tell you right now, I can guarantee like not 99%, like I could 100% guarantee that you'll see no sideboard hate for hand destruction in Miami. Another thing I can tell you, you will see is the prominent red deck in Miami will be King Vegeta. Granted, those players are able to get the appropriate promos.
Oh, yeah, the
Now,
TPs.
yeah,
Yeah.
if they're
A
not
lot of
able to
TPs,
get it,
man.
yeah, if they're not able to get those promos, what's going to happen is either one of two things. They're going to start splitting between you're going to need your Vegeta. You can't really split the Vegeta, but you're going to see the split between the Vegeta one drop and the Raditz one drop. All right, you get four, or whatever ratios is going to be appropriate. But the other ones, I don't know if you can run. Maybe you could get away with 3, but I don't know. It's still going to be TP dependent. And
You
then,
could get so you could. I would say the worst ratios is you could go 2 Raditz, 3 Vegeta. Like, that's
Yeah.
bare minimum. The worst ratios that deck is still functioning at, because you only need 1 Raditz in your deck because you're just putting it back into your deck. So like, you need the second one to make sure it's not in hand or life, and then like, if you play 3 Vegetas, you just mull for it, and like, you'll probably draw it by turn 2 or 3. Like, but that's bare minimum of the worst.
Yeah, you don't actually need the TPs. The only card you actually need is Piccolo Jr., Eradicate, or a piece. That's the only card you need in that
no,
deck.
you
Oh
100%
yeah,
need
Totally
TPs,
insane,
man.
bro.
that's
That's literally
actually
the only card you need, bro.
no,
You guys
that's
are
true
fucking up.
too. No, I mean, hey, you know what?
100%.
That's very fair. So like, what King Vegeta has 2 different versions, right? It has the red, green, and then it has mono red, and it's like mono red is like strictly worse, like, because it plays a 5-drop boss creature that you play on 3 energy or whatever, and then like it just dies, and then you lose the game. So like, the mono red version is strictly worse. Is mono green better than launch? Or excuse me, not mono green. Is red green better than launch? Again, I don't know that much about the deck, but it's like, what does King Vegeta do better than launch for the red green to make it playable?
So a few things that come to mind. It doesn't draw like the draw power launch has is amazing, and it lives in like the combo area.
Mm.
Whereas like that's something that like Mecha can take advantage of, but something like King Vegeta could like take away like some of the resources that a deck that needs the life in order to do stuff. Like you can rip 2 life easily.
Yeah,
Like
more
going
than 2,
second
bro.
with
Yeah.
Majin with King Vegeta doesn't feel bad like at all. And I don't like you like I 100% agree when you say that like, oh, I'm gonna tap 3 for like, dude, I tapped 3 for that card, and Ken was playing like Trunks leader, and he uses Unison to like negate its skill and swallow. I was like, all right, I
Yeah,
quit. Like I'm not tapping more than 1 for anything. Like the only card I'll tap
yeah.
2 for is Piccolo. Like, so you're 100% right. But I mean, it's not better than launch. It's like better at some things, but launch is better at other. Like launch can
Well,
play
I'm
like
just curious.
Invoker.
Yeah,
Like,
I don't actually know.
yeah.
You know what I mean? No, I mean,
Oh
it's
yeah,
like
yeah,
specifically red green launch. Like, what makes King Vegeta the better red green deck, or maybe not better, but like, what makes
yeah,
it different than launch? Is it like it's more defensive? I guess because
yeah.
of like
The early
all the
burn,
negging it does. You know what I mean?
I
right?
honestly
And
think,
yeah, that's
yeah,
another thing too.
I honestly think it's gonna be a red version because I played it against it a lot, and the only ones that came very very close was the red versions, because those red versions, you're saying, like I said, it's like what the point of Sublett bought out. Not every deck has that board removal. Once that 3-drop hits, you're in trouble, dude. Like, your attacks are not going through at all. Like, you're gonna have the Vegeta, you'll have the leader. You'll
I don't think Sublett said that. I think you just swing on it with your leader and then friggin' double super combo and then it's dead. Because again,
Yeah.
King Vegeta just has no hand. Like the deck, not only that, but like King Vegeta. No, like when I say no hand, it comparatively draws less than other decks.
Yeah.
And you are actively dealing a lot of damage to your opponent every turn in the early game. So like just. Again, this is like in my head. Like your opponent's gonna have more cards in hand than you. Yeah, you have to what? You have to Wolf Fang the leader. Like you know what I mean? It's just one of those things.
Eddie,
And then that card also doesn't have barrier. So it's like if you play against a deck that plays any removal, which they all do, because every deck plays Secret Identity, like they're just gonna Secret Identity it away. I'll crit a life. I really don't care. And then like you use 2 cards to play that card, and then you didn't replenish any of those cards. And you tap 3 energy for it. So it's like I just don't see the mono red version really doing anything. But I mean I've played against it a few times. You know, I actually haven't played that much Sat 13. It's pretty funny. I played Mecha and Vegex, and that's really it. And I've been playing a lot on Untap, so it's like playing random people on Untap is not really a good way to get like a good grasp of like, okay, this player is very competent and he's playing very optimally. No, I'm just like destroying people on Untap. And it's like I don't even learn what their deck does because I just win on turn 3. So
I will tell you, man. Like I said, if those guys are able to get the promos, I will see the majority of Top Cut being a split of Dark Broly and King Vegeta. I don't want to go into the details of how to play King Vegeta on stream because that deck is extremely. When I say I was struggling to win, I was struggling to win. The deck is extremely annoying to play against. But like I said, it's very, very, very. Because when I looked at the card list, the majority of the cards they need is on the TP. It's worse than Red Broly, where you only had the 1-drop. No, your 1-drops are TPs and so your 3-drop. It's like, damn, you really much got. So I really don't want to go into like Ken and I went into last time where the combo stuff feels like it's just impossible. Like you're never gonna get an attack through realistic that you really do want to get through, and it's just man, oh man, I'd rather get.
I feel like King Vegeta, the appropriate play style for it is probably going to be more dependent on being a red control deck and not going into that chain like Giancarlo is saying, because it is energy inefficient. But if you play it more as a control deck with things that like neg and then go into like an end game towards the later game, then I could see the deck like.
So what's the
maybe something like an arrival deck, maybe like where you could play mono red. But then you still have access to red green.
I haven't gotten into the deck building of it yet, like what would be a more competitive deck list, but I'm leaning, just looking at the card pool myself, I'm leaning more towards a red-yellow build.
Yeah, that's the one we talked about last time, huh? Annoying.
I gotta say though, because like when mono red comes to mind, like I'm playing King Piccolo, like you know what I mean, like mono red, like King Piccolo is probably still like you have Red Broly is like a different end of the spectrum. So like Red Broly is an aggro deck, in my opinion. King Piccolo is like a mid-range deck. Like King Piccolo can fill any slot, but like it's like a very mid-range deck. So it's like if you're talking about mono red mid to control, like it's King Piccolo for sure. So it's like I'm being a hater, honestly. Like I'm acknowledging that. It's just like I just don't understand. I've seen so much hype for Red Vegeta, King Vegeta, and I just like I just I've yet to understand it. You know, even in our team chat, they're talking about Red Green King Vegeta is broken, and this 4-drop Gohan Super Saiyan 3 is like the best card. And I'm like,
we thought that man's sex out there.
That's a 4-drop, bro. Like I'll spoil anybody's fight. Don't tell me nothing because I'll tell everybody. I don't care. John, shout out to John Lamentera. He sent me a deck list 2 days ago. I posted it in the Hermit Style chat. I don't care. Don't tell me nothing. I'll tell everybody. I don't care. Anyway, shout out to John. He's a really cool guy. But anyway, yeah, they're saying like, oh yeah, this SS4 Gohan is. I think it's a Gohan. I don't even know. It's so good. And it's like, bro, this shit costs 4 energy. Like, what are you gonna play it on turn 4? Okay, well, like the game's over on turn 4, so I don't know. I am not like trying to say these things declaratively. I'm just curious. You know what I mean?
I'm just saying that I will
right.
say it's got a lot of good floodgates. I think it can make it to those later turns easily.
Oh, absolutely. You have Topo, Violent Rays, Intimidating Presence, or whatever. Yeah, the deck definitely has floodgates. That's facts. But that's what I'm saying. But like all those floodgates are huge minuses. So like you play against like Dark Broly, where like you're not clearing a 30k, and like Dark Broly is just gonna attack with Demigra first always. Like if you're playing Dark Broly, you should be playing Demigra. If you're playing Vegex, you should be playing Demigra. Like I'm gonna attack with Demigra, and you're gonna floodgate Demigra. Well, that's like 3 cards out of your hand. You know what I'm saying? So it's one of those things.
Well, one cool thing is that it does neg the 5k, so they can't combo the Broly's away. But I don't think we're gonna see King Vegeta that early. I think we'll see Red Bardock maybe, if anything, early, because that deck I think looks really good, especially like the chain attack version.
I don't think so.
I don't know how King like. I mean, unless you can get all those cards like day one, I guess. But I think early on we might see Bardock.
But like Bardock has the same issue, right? Because the 1-drop Bardock is also a TP, and right? Am I
That's
wrong?
one card. Yeah, but we're talking
That's a
about
good
one
card. That's like a good card. That's like a red Broly 1-drop TP. Like that's a very it's the only double strike. Is it critical? What is it?
I forget, but I know that it's one. Like King Vegeta needs like like if you want to play like a decent version, you need like 3 TPs.
Yeah.
Whereas it's whatever 2 or 3 of. But you also need like it's a really expensive deck. Like, you need like I think you need the Piccolos. I think you need like a lot of other stuff.
Oh
Like
yeah,
whereas I think
that takes a lot. Red is getting to that point where like red feels like green now. It's like red's like damn.
green.
I gotta buy Violent Rays and Merciless Barrage and Piccolo Eradicator. Man, this deck's getting expensive, man.
Yeah, what was the 3-drop Piccolo? I'm playing that guy too. Like, there's so many cards you gotta play in that deck, and also, but with Bardock, just put chain attacks in. And you have like the spiciest deck ever. Like, I feel like.
All right, so I hate to do this to y'all.
No, do it, dude.
I think Eddie probably doesn't know. Sublett knows this about me. I'm very close-minded and I'm a hater. So like y'all really gonna have to you're really gonna have to explain things to me because like I think Bardock is a horrible deck. Like it's like it's a worse aggro deck than Red Broly, and Chain Zeno is not good anymore because Unisons exist. So not only did like hella counterplays exist and Unisons exist, so it's like Chain Zeno just cannot possibly be good anymore. Now there will be some matchups that like Chain Zeno like will just be good on like if like your opponent has 20 cards in hand. If you're playing against Baby and they have 12 cards in hand, and you somehow resolve Chain Zeno without threat of counterplay, like yeah, you just +5, like sure, but like you know what I'm saying, you're not doing it on turn 2 because your opponent only has 7 cards in hand anyway. So it's like it's just one of those things where like I don't quite believe in that anymore. Again, like Mecha Frieza, like that's probably also pretty decent against Mecha Frieza, right?
I'm not sure, just because Mecha's really defensive. I don't know actually about that, but
well,
I'm a lot like
Mecha takes its life to gain advantage, and then you Chain Zeno them, and they're back to 5 cards in hand with no board. So it's like they took their life to gain advantage, and then you just took that advantage from them. So like they have to retake life to gain more advantage because like they're not tapping 2 for Unite Assemble. So if they want to regain that advantage, they're gonna have to go to a lower life total, which means that now you go flip back to the aggressive strategy. I might be convincing myself a little bit. I don't know. I can see
the whole thing with
I see what you're saying.
If I'm speaking like unbiased, just straight objective, right? That deck maybe has possibility in best of 1 because you're not going to change Zeno someone twice in best of 3. 100% not. The only people you'll be able to do that to is if you're going against like players who are playing black decks. Like if you're playing Dark Broly, if you're playing, but like you have no way to stop it. Yes, you're gonna be susceptible to it. But the fact that a lot of these decks, like you said, have counterplays, have answers to it, you're not gonna get caught. Maybe once you could bait it out and it's like, oh snap, you actually play Transeno. Okay, cool. But not only do you actually have to play the Transeno, you still have to win that game. You change Zeno because I can guarantee it to you, bro. That's not gonna pop off again. So best of 3, I don't really see it.
Like you might sneak in, like Eddie said, right? If I'm playing Dark Broly and you Chain Zeno me game 1, I'm gonna be like, oh crap, this guy's playing Chain Zeno. Games 2 and 3, I'm just gonna dump my hand for you. And I'm just gonna dump my entire hand into the drop. I'm gonna swing everything at your face. You better draw your Violent Rays, because if not, I'm going in. And then you can Chain Zeno me and I'll just draw 5 cards. Like that's how I'm playing Dark Broly, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's the whole point. So I don't see it being realistically good in best of 3, but best of 1 I can see it. But the thing with
I think we're seeing all types of crazy shit go on in best of one. For like the red, what is it? Yellow red baby Vegeta is like top 16. It's like any like all these aggro decks that like never top ever in best of 3. So you have like Majin Vegeta, this baby aggro deck. You have like all these random aggressive decks that just could never have a chance in best of 3 are all just relying on the fact that your opponent just draws bad or does not draw them out. So it's like, I don't think that Majin Vegeta has ever topped anything relevant since it came out, right? Correct me if I'm wrong.
Not for best of 3.
Not best of 3.
No. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
No.
So it's like, when I went to Tampa, I think I played like 2 Majin Vegeta that tournament, and I was like, yeah, this deck sucks. Like, there's no way for me to lose to this deck. I was playing Dark Broly. And,
it's not possible for them,
it's like in the best of 1 scenario, okay, I don't draw Power Burst, I don't draw Brainwash no more, I don't draw Bardock the Tenacious. Maybe I'm not even main decking some of these cards because it's best of 1, and then they just win on turn 2 because like that's how I feel. I'm not trying to insult the dude who won with Majin Vegeta, but that's the reality of aggro in best of 1. Is like you're just relying on your opponent to draw bad in best of 1 scenario. So like I don't think aggro is like as relevant in the game as like this current format has like made it seem.
Yeah, I think it's also the same for anything that needs an answer. Hand destruction, maybe anything that you might see, because that Android deck that just topped in best of 1 also. Like I don't see that topping anywhere as well. And Majin Vegeta, like all you gotta do against Majin Vegeta is just if you're Dark Broly, just Meiji Kabura and just say like Broly or
Majin Buu 3.
Majin Buu 3, and it's over. Like so like
that's what I did every time.
Yeah, you see it. That's what I do at local. Like when I used to play Dark Broly at local, then against Majin Vegeta, I'm like, okay, I play no negates and I won every single time. It's like, okay, cool. You're gonna do that. Oh, next turn is gonna be your kill turn. Mecha Gebera.
I did lose one game because I lost one game because he swung with 7-drop Boo. This was back in set 11, so 4-drop Boo wasn't out yet. He swung with 7-drop Boo, comboed Earth Shattering, Cell's Earth Shattering Kamehameha, and sniped the Brainwash right at it. I had 8 cards in hand. He immediately sniped the Brainwash out of my hand. I was like, game 2. I was like, scoop it up.
Yeah, it's super close. But
anyway, I'm a big hater. Like I don't know why. Like I'm just a very stubborn personality, and it's like Sublett. We've had a lot of arguments about cards because I'm just like I don't see why it's good, and then Sublett will give me like a whole dissertation on why this card is good. I'm like I don't see it. Like
I'll tell you right now, man. The one thing not to hate on, hold
on, Sublett wants to say something. He's too polite to interrupt.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
So like. Leaders do too much on the front now. Back in the day, Chain Zeno mattered because your leader couldn't regain any of the advantage that you had built with the board. Now, even if you chain Zeno on 2, my leader has like 6 different effects. They all gain me advantage. You take my hand of 7 cards and turn it into 5. And so you don't want to do it on 2. You want to do it on 3 or 4 when I, as a Mecha Frieza, have a million cards in hand. But the counter to that is I have a counter to you. Now that I have a million cards in hand, you'll never guess which one of these is going to stop you. Chain Zeno is not what it used to be, and even though it might do well in like best of 1 scenario because you catch an opponent who just has never heard of Chain Attack Trunks off guard, it doesn't mean that it's a good thing. And I think that we're going to see that it's not, because decks are just value factories, and drop areas are just value factories, and you can pick my board up and pick my hand up and put it back in the deck and bring it back. But like, I'll just rebuild it. How many times have we seen that? How many times have you cleared Aggro Sin's board and next turn they put it right back? How many times have you kited your opponent's King Piccolo board in their Unison and next turn they're like, I'll play a Unison and do it all again. Like, You can't tell me that Chain Zeno is a good thing anymore. You can't convince me that you running bricks in your deck makes you beat me. Like Zeno is a 7-drop 0 combo. You can't do jack with that thing.
That's blue. Can't do it anymore.
You can't even charge that thing. Back in the day, we could charge. Now everything's like if all of your energy is mono red. That's not too good with that card, and everything's got such a high specified cost if you do end up paying energy for it. Like that Chain Attack Zeno is not good. And ultimately, these arguments about what deck is going to do well and what deck is going to win is going to come down to the same thing that it comes down to every time. It's a tried and true, well understood, well established deck from the previous format that's going to do well because it continues to do well. And that is what the top cut is going to be. Top cut is going to be filled with that. Yeah, King Vegeta might show up, and yeah, Bardock might show up, but they're not going to run the event. That's not how this is going to go. The people who are, first off, this is not like a regional level event either. And so the results of it might be more skewed towards a local style of event for this release.
It'll be skewed toward the average Florida meta, which is a lot of black aggro. and then I think you have like again, baby got Majin Buu Unison. That's like the best unison in the game, period. That Majin Buu 4-drop. That thing is absolutely nuts, insane, broken. So like Baby gets a huge boost, which Baby's already a super good deck, and Mecha's already a super good deck, and it got Power of the Super Saiyan, which is like why did like oh my god, bro. Yeah. Come on. Come on.
That's my point, is that the decks that are gonna do well are the decks that are already doing well that got a power boost by 1 or 2 cards. Like you're gonna see Invoker do well because Legends and I are going to play it and beat you guys with it. You're going to see King Piccolo do well.
Again. You don't be mine, bro. I learned my lesson.
Because now
Bandai really looked at Mecha Frieza and was like, you know what this deck needs? A really good extra card. Like they're just like, this deck's not broken enough. And we need to give it Power of the Super Saiyan.
And the Topo that says, you know, it's even better than Topo. Don't pitch cards.
A 1-mana Topo doesn't discard a card.
Don't even pitch cards for him. Just switch things to rest mode for me, man. Like, what? Dumb.
Anyway, like I was saying, King Piccolo now has a counter that stops Dimension Magic being sparking. That seems absurd. Like Baby got the new Unison, which they can use just fine. It seems really good in Baby anyway. Like, got all these decks that already exist that are already going to do well, and I think that that's what you're going to see at the bigger events, the established events, the events that are going to draw those kinds of more competitive crowds. And ultimately, that's just what's going to happen. It's not even about an argument or about counterpoints or anything, because this is a card game, and the decks that win are the ones that have won in the past and will continue to win unless they're
well, this is an entertainment-based podcast, so the point is the argument. Yes, everything you said is correct. I agree with you 100%. Yeah, I agree. But that being said, you should be excited for new decks because, like, I think that what are we on? What is this? 13 Vicious Rivalry. I think this is a great set. I think this set is amazing. Supreme Rivalry. Yeah, I think there's a lot of cool decks. You should still be excited for new decks, even if what Sublett said is correct. Because what he's saying also only applies to week 1 meta. Week 2 meta, week 3 meta is very different than week 1 meta. We saw it with like Gotenks, right? Gotenks swept 3 different events, and then like barely ever topped ever again. So it's like you just, you know, it is what it is.
Also, it's not like, I mean, I do agree, by the way, that the old decks were better because, like, I'm playing Baby. Like, I love Baby, and you mentioning that Unison, dude, that's what I was thinking because I've been waiting for Unison to really play because, like, tapping out on 3 with the Baby, for me, hasn't worked. I know people like it, but
I play it on.
I feel like a lot of.
Go ahead.
No, a lot of the meta is also not just, like, what's better, but what your matchup is, too. Because there's so many things out there, like, on aggro that are legitimately good, whether it's, like, Dark Broly or Vegex or King Piccolo. But there's also like the controls really good as well. Like, and you have no idea. Best of 3 or 1, honestly, because as wild as best of 1 is, like in best of 3, like even if you take like a tried and proven like Baby deck, like you have no idea what you're gonna face.
Yeah. No, I mean you could play Vegex, and Vegex has like main boarded Son Goku, sideboarded Vegeta 1-drops. You could play like any green deck, which has like some element of hand destruction, which is good against Baby. You know, but then like Baby just has those matchups where it's just like, oh, I can't lose. Like Baby versus Mecha Frieza, I'm just like, as a Baby player, I'm like, how do I lose? Like it feels impossible to lose versus Mecha Frieza with Baby. Like it's something else.
This is facts. But yeah, to go on with what everyone said, I think the thing we could conclude from here is number one, we can't really we can't even say there's a meta for best of one because best of one is just best of one. The only thing we can look at to predict an event is best of three. Because like I said,
best of one's over now, isn't it? Because we're transitioning into IRL regionals in June, which are all best of three. So best of one's like over for now.
Best of one is not something you can really predict, man. It's just it's a mess, bro. Like
I'm not gonna lie, bro. I've been loving best of one, bro. I have been loving it. I get to play for 20 minutes, and then I get to go do whatever I want. I get to go grab lunch, hang out with some friends. Like I've been loving best of one. And then if you lose, you have an immediate excuse, and like you don't even have to be mad about it. You're like, oh yeah, he had it and I didn't. Like I've been absolutely loving best of one, bro.
Dude, Sublett looks disgusted right now. It's just like frowning.
Because it's not right. There is a defined meta for best of one.
There is, but then you can't.
The craziness is not because it's best of one.
Yeah.
The craziness is because regional season has been going on for 6 or 7 regionals, and people have stopped caring. Yeah. Everybody who wants their invite has it, so they're all just playing crud decks to have fun, or play 3 rounds and drop like I did in the last one.
Yeah. Marcus Catarsi did play a Highlander deck. So that was pretty cool.
Look at the first 3 regionals when everybody was actually trying. There was a well-defined meta that existed there that was inarguable. And now, it's not that best of one is wild. It's that regional season has wound down a little bit because everybody has what they want. So that impacts what people play, what people do, and the showings that we see at these regionals. And you got to understand that and keep that one in mind when you think about it. Best of one definitely has a defined meta. It 100% has a defined meta, just like best of 3. They're different metas. That's the thing that you want to focus on. But to say that it doesn't have a meta is not technically correct.
Fair enough.
Let me put it this way. You're right to that extent, but I feel like there's best of 3 where you can say, okay, cool, this is what you're gonna see. But you can't do that with best of 1. Like you can't say next weekend expect Majin Vegeta because it won last. Like 8 out of 8 decks for Majin Vegeta. You can't say you're gonna see one Majin Vegeta. Majin Vegeta might be absent periods, just like how we saw.
I think
the best of 3 though.
No. Best of 3, you can't say there's gonna be no Dark Broly's in top cut, or like you can't say there's gonna be no Mecha in top. Like the
point Eddie is making is that
those are 2 different formats, though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Both of them are bad in best of 1. That's why you don't generally see them in best of 1.
Yeah,
no.
That's the point I was trying to make, where you can top with something in best of 1, and then next week it's completely like it's gone, it's ghosted. You don't see that in best of 3. Like you can't tell me there's one event. Yes, it might not win, but you can't say there's no King Piccolo, there's no Dark Broly, there's no Mecha Frieza in a best of 3 top cut. I'm not saying it's winning, but you can't tell me there's not one of those 3 decks in the actual top cut itself.
But dude, that is a different meta. You can't use a specific deck example as an example for 2 different.
I think you guys are agreeing, bro.
Yeah. What Eddie is saying is that best of 1 is unpredictable because of various reasons, including the ones Sublett has laid out. It is absolutely unpredictable because 6 different decks have won every single different regional. And if
what about tops? Are the decks that we expect to see in tops still being seen in tops?
No, because we're seeing freaking we're seeing Yellow Baby and Android 13 top.
Exactly.
Best of 1.
In best of 3 too. What kind of an argument is that?
Who? Yellow Baby and Android 13 top.
Rogue random bullcrud tops in those things. We see that all the time.
Yes, but it doesn't eliminate the former stuff, is what I'm trying to tell you. Like, you're right, the Rogue will top, but something won't just complete, like, an established deck will not completely just disappear like it does in Best of. I'm telling you, because in Best of 1, you'll see, okay, let's say I think the second
event. Because 1 week you'll see, okay, in week 1 we saw like 4 or 5 launches in top 16, and then launch has been like almost gone from the rest of the format. You know what I'm saying?
Then the next one wasn't like Blue Baby and Invoker, and then from that it was Majin. Like that's what I'm trying to say. It just eliminates and shifts over to the next deck. You don't see such changes like that in Best of 3. Like this weekend in TAC, I don't know about Core, but in TAC itself, you saw a bunch of hand destruction and Gogeta Zeno decks. It's like, where's the like?
Yeah, and then once people discovered that Sin Shenron existed, like King Piccolo deck stopped topping. So like
exactly,
you
yeah,
had
that's
three.
Adaptation. That is adaptation of a meta. That is not best of one. That is a meta that changes. We do see that.
I don't know. I don't know what we're arguing about anymore. I vote we just move on. I'm lost. I'm honestly just lost. I don't understand. So the point is, yes, everything has a meta. Best of one does have a meta. Because these regionals have been contentious, we've seen crazy results from best of one. Is that agreeable?
Yeah.
Android 18 Mills winning that.
Yeah, Android 18
Android 18 Mills is a bad.
Android 18 won a regional. That's something like what?
No, it did not. It did not win an NA regional. Here's the thing,
NA,
bro.
But I'm
calling every other any regional that is not NA is undoubtedly worse. The players are worse. The freaking Europeans, cheaters. Freaking Australians.
Okay, yeah, we gotta go to the next topic. We can't do that on here, bro.
No, Australians not as good as North American players.
We can't do that.
These are all provable facts, dog. Europeans not as good as North Americans. That's why you see.
They got that shuffle.
He's joking, guys.
I'm not joking. I'm so serious, bro. I'll say it again.
Our metas are completely
different. Yes, I'm joking. We know Europeans aren't cheaters. It's just y'all's two best players who are cheaters. That's it.
Wait, I'm not gonna lie. In a serious note, though, Alfredo. In all seriousness, I'm not even joking. All joking aside, he is a great player. Yes.
No, he's not.
Listen,
he's not.
He cheated. I'm not. Listen. I'm not trolling you. He cheated the first event. Yes.
No,
but I'm telling you,
he cheated every event.
The most recent event that he won, he was washed like a hawk. He did not cheat.
No,
or at least if he did cheat, he I don't know what he was doing, but he did not cheat on camera or anything. The second event,
you can cheat. Hold on.
Once you are a confirmed cheater,
you're always a cheater, bro.
You can't defend a cheater. I'm sorry.
No,
he's not defending.
I'm not defending him at all. I don't condone cheating at all. I'm just saying cheating doesn't make a bad player a good player. Cheating, let's say if Sublett cheated, right? If Sublett cheated, he's winning an event hands down because he's already a good player. It's gonna
the best.
Think about it. It's like
arguably,
you're undefeated in Swiss, and now you're cheating.
Player.
100% gonna win nats if you're cheating. You know what I'm saying? Like it makes a great player. Just like you cannot interact with them. Period. Imagine, okay, cool. For some reason, let me not use you or anyone on the team because they're gonna. I already see.
I got the best example. Hold on, I got an example for you. You take arguably the best player in the history of the game. Yeah. Y'all know who I'm talking about. Does this guy cheat or not? Yeah, he cheats, bro. And he won a lot of events. And guess what? He probably cheated at least all of them. So this player is a cheater, and that's why he won all those events. Is that player still a good player? Yeah, he's probably one of the best players we've ever had in this game. But is he winning 6 events without cheating at every single one of them?
Yeah.
No, he's not.
Agreed. Cheating just makes a broken
Alfredo,
player.
Here's the thing about Alfredo. Here's the thing about Alfredo, right? This dude is not a good player, and I'll tell you why. He has look at every single one of his events, right? He got caught cheating in the last round stacking with Vegex. Okay, you stack with Vegex, you're guaranteed to win. That's a fact. Back when Vegex had the Royal Flush.
That's funny though. He didn't even he beat me in quote unquote time. He was losing that match.
Yeah.
Time went out.
Yeah. I got you. Yeah. Because Dark Broly has an amazing Vegex matchup. That's how it is.
He was getting
freaking in the second regional, I think he topped not a regional, the second PPT Pro Play qualifier, whatever it was. He
won
got
Red
caught
Broly.
adding.
Oh yeah.
He won, but I know he got caught adding a 5-drop to hand with Vampa. Okay. And then in the third regional or third PPQ, he got found out and DQ'd, right? Every tournament this guy has ever entered, he's cheating. In this European tournament that he didn't get, that he was washing, he was cheating in that one too. He just did not get caught. He's just not a good, you're not gonna tell me this dude's a good player when he doesn't even play. He just cheats. That's just it. If he was a good player, he would have been winning events. He's never won an event ever, or this is a completely new player to the game, and all of a sudden he's topping 3 events in a row. No, he's just a cheater. Same thing with Michael Silk. You can tell me Michael Silk's a good player, but I'm just going to tell you, no, he's not. He's not a good player because every single top or win he's ever had is just suspect. That's a fact. He's not a good. If he had never cheated, he would have less tops, and that's fact. If he could look me dead in the face and says, I've only ever cheated twice in my career, I would just say you're lying. Every win you've ever had is suspect because you're a cheater.
I think that it really boils down to the fact that once you're a cheater,
You're done.
You don't deserve to be called a good player.
Absolutely.
I could agree with that.
Back up down that hill, you're out.
Yeah,
period.
I could agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I could agree
No,
with
but
that.
remember,
cheating. That is the consequence. You will never be recognized for anything.
I could agree.
Barry
with
Bonds cheated. Barry Bonds cheated, and he's the GOAT. That's all.
Barry Bonds didn't cheat. You should be able to take steroids. Like he didn't cheat.
I
You just
agree.
took steroids.
Man, I'll talk about that.
That's a different conversation, dog. Jose Canseco, Barry Bonds, they're not cheaters, they're legends because they were willing to take the extra step.
Yes.
So are these guys.
They went the extra mile.
So are these guys, bro.
That's it.
Oh,
what's the old saying, bro? If you ain't cheating, you're not trying hard enough to win.
And if you get caught cheating, you ain't trying hard enough.
You ain't trying hard enough. That's it. That's it.
We're gonna start going off events. We're saying, okay, cool. These guys that you never heard of, that are topping it in online events. If they're not topping in real life events, there's an issue there. Be like, that's the only way we could I guess really look at these events. But yeah, let's move on from cheater. That was a fun topic though. But yeah, let's not bury anyone because
I'll say whatever, dog. I'll risk it all. I don't care.
Let's not kick them while they're down because that's not fair to.
I'm only coming in these chats if Giancarlo's here. By the way,
that's fact. Yeah, that's fact. This is Vegeta Saiyan Army energy though. This is how these boys be in the Facebook chat. Y'all be wilding out, bro.
This is how we be.
Y'all be wilding out. This shit is so funny.
You guys should have started a local team chat, like the local group chat that we're on when these cheaters got caught in the memes that Kenny and Frank Castle are making. Oh my goodness! I'm like, wow. If we thought the meme was funny, like my goodness, man. Hey, some savage memes. But anyways, we have all right. Let's catch up on the comments real quick. King Vegeta is a dark horse.
Facts. Who else cheated in this game? I'll call anybody out. We'll move on.
Yeah, Sage to Sorrow. If I were to say something, I would 100% say if there's one deck that the most dominant coming out of the next set, it would be King Vegeta. I know a lot of people don't believe in it. I didn't either. I'm not gonna lie to you. I 100% didn't believe in it. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna clap this thing with Vegex, right? Play Vegex, I got my cheeks slaughtered. I was like, bro.
Who'd you play against?
It was random people. It was when I was testing. I was going against all the set 13 metas, and I put it on because I wanted to do a T-Talk session and just talk about set 13. I went against all these guys. I only want to play set 13 decks. I'm sorry. So I'm playing with all the good stuff. I don't know if he counterpicked it or what because I said I was playing with Jax. I got my cheeks clapped. And I got to a point where I'm like, okay, cool. Because Untitled, one thing I hate about it. Because
I know. That's because you're an aggro player. I got you.
No,
I got you. Yeah,
even if you're not, I don't think you could ever get a swing off because literally that card that says every time you attack gets a nega card, it's impossiple. And the thing about Untapped,
you already know what I'm gonna do, dog. Hey, you already know what I'm gonna do, bro.
And when
you already know.
When you look at
guess how you beat King Vegeta, dog. You attack with Demigra first, and then they floodgate you, and then they discard 3 cards out of their hand, and then you draw one with Regex and pass the turn. That's how you win, dog. I'm telling you. You're not playing Demigra in your black deck. 100% wrong. Even Makekabura, you should be playing Demigra, dog. Straight up.
But
go ahead, over your leader, draw your 3 cards, and then next turn, Dark Overwhelm. Go ahead and do it.
I'm done. But it's just the biggest thing was if you don't have, so you're right. I mean, Demigra would kind of get that attack free, but if you don't have beefy cards, like I was playing Floodgate deck. So when I swung, I couldn't swing because it said literally before you swing, you have to neg your guy. My guys were 5k base. I'm like, well, damn, I guess that's just my turn. So that's when I swapped over to Dark Broly, and I found out King Vegeta wasn't winning that. It did slow me down. Wow. There was a specific version that's literally stunned me every single turn. But the way it stunned me, they were losing advantage to do it. So I knew at the end of the game I was going to win it because there's no clapback that I have to be scared of. But there's a version. That's why I don't want to really go into depth on this. Kenny and I went into a little bit last time, but there's a version that literally, I don't care how hard you're coming at it. Yes, the hand size is low, but none of your attacks are coming through. And that's why I'll tell you, King Vegeta, in my opinion, will probably be the best deck coming out of that set. I'm not saying it's going to take over the current meta because the current meta is strong right now. But coming out of it, that thing was nice, bro. So
you're saying it's the best new deck.
Yeah, I 100% would say that.
Okay.
What secret rare do you see best for Dark Broly, Rebel, or Kai? I know these guys are going to say Kai. You already know what I'm going to say. I just like the fact that...
Definitely Rubello. It's 100% Rubel.
Oh, they said Rubel, not Kai. Okay.
100% Rubel. Because in Dark Broly, you're like, again, like what does Kai do? It clears the board. Okay, I've been clearing the board every single turn anyway.
This facts.
Yes, Kai is good. Don't get me wrong. But like in Dark Broly, like Heroine's lineage is probably better than Kai. But Rubel is like 2 mana plus 6. It's obvious. 2 mana summon Demigra and fighting against Fate, and then negate 3 attacks. It's Rubel 100%, dog. Oof. You're gonna have 8 cards in your drop area because you're just gonna swing with leader, combo 5 cards, use leader ability, put 3 back, summon Rubel, win the game. And if you don't win the game with Rubel, she summons 2 negates. So she's really good.
So here's your answer from Giancarlo. My answer is, honestly, I'm borderline of playing no Secret Rares again because I felt like the points where I could play Secret Rares, dude, I feel like the game's already over. You understand, when you play Dark Broly, the game's so simple. It's just like, These cards are win more cards. I don't need one more card. I just need a way to stabilize it against these current floodgates. Because you're trying to put in all these massive cards. Like people are saying, Kai's a 1-drop 40k. Bro, your 30ks are not getting through. How's the 40k to get through? It makes sense. And it's like what Giancarlo says. You're already clearing the board. I don't need to clear anything. I need to clear your life, not the board. Be like, I need something that will just come at you. I saw on borderline of just not even playing secrets anymore. Just going into regular stuff, finding ways to mitigate actual floodgates. So I don't really have an answer for you on the secret. I mean, Rubel is nice. Like I said, if you're under Violent Rays or something like that, the attacks you were getting on before, it makes you. It's like my whole mindset of not playing Heartfelt Plea. Like if my 30k are going to get through, why am I just going to draw 2 just to get something else that's not going to attack?
Heartfelt did nothing. Heartfelt did nothing to improve your bad matchups. However, the new card. Broly, first of all, I do like Heartfelt Plea in the deck because it just drawing 2 just feels nice. Like it's free draw nice. 2. But anyway, like the Vindicator just helps. Like it's another card because you're gonna swing with the Vindicator first. They're gonna Violent Raise and then you're gonna Ravager, and that takes 3 cards out of their hand. And it's like the Vindicator is just a card that just works really well in the deck against like you said, like Floodgate deck. That's why the Vindicator is good. But what Rubel does is it summons Demigra, and then you attack with Demigra, and then they Violent Raise, and then they discard half of their hand.
You play Demigra and you're set 1 Broly, don't you, dude? just for 1 turn, it's like, I don't need the Dark Overwhelm. I just need Demigra, man.
I know. I hype that card up a lot. It's not anywhere near as good as I say it is because it just dies. Every time you play it, you attack with it, and then it dies next turn. And then like you gotta summon a second one, but it is what it is. Like if you played Magic the Gathering, and your opponent, this is like a random reference, but if your opponent summons Siege Rhino against you, you're like, damn, that card's really good. And then they summon a second Siege Rhino, and you're like, all right, the game's over. Like that's it.
That I could agree on. That I could agree on. If you summon a Demigra and your opponent just leaves it alone, and you get a second one, I can see how that gets broken because your opponent is just giving you the game at that point. But it's like, bro, let me not say that, but like any player who is really competitive and you're going to expect to see them in top cut is not going to just let a Demigra sit on. They're going to have a main deck out to it. Now, if those people just came down just to have fun, yeah, you're going to see a Demigra a lot.
I mean, there's just a lot of decks that like literally cannot main deck any out to it. Like realistically, like Baby's only out is max power. And it's like blue, generally, their only out is max power. So it's like they have to, like, first of all, they have to be main decking max power, which is pretty contentious as is. Maybe they do, maybe they don't, okay? Then in their first 2 to 3 turns, they have to draw it. They might only be playing 2. So it's like they have to draw a 2 of in the first 2 to 3 turns. So it's like there's just certain matchups where, again, like Red, how is Red clearing Demigra on turn 2? It's not. Like, Launch isn't killing it. King Piccolo's not killing Demigra on turn 2. Like the danger in that is having to tap out against those decks on turn 2. So like that's kind of how they get around it. But it's like there's a lot of matchups where he's just safe on board. There's a lot of matchups where he's not safe on board. So it's like you just pick and choose which matchups to play him on. Like that's how I play the. You know what I mean?
That makes sense. All right.
Wait, Eddie, I have a question. When will you go back to the set 1 Eddie that played no super combos, bro?
We don't do that no one. Those days.
The original Harry Burns or Ayala.
Those days are right. If it's best of 3, play Reboot Gohan over Majin Vegeta for sure. Yeah, all right. Coop. The issue with it's not 100% agree with you. If I were to play a deck, I guess I'd live and die by the sword of Reboot Gohan over Majin Vegeta. But the thing is, guys, if you understand, hyper aggressive decks are the bane of your existence. And you're playing red, blue, green, and yellow, and you're not playing those free counterplay cards that says, "Hey, I'm gonna save your life to these hyper aggressive decks." That's your fault for losing. And best of one, if you're not playing those cards, the free ones that negate, if they can spark you negate if you're at 5 or less, and it brings out a blocker. So technically, it's like 2 negates in one. If you're not playing those decks, and you know King Vegeta and Ryu Gohan's banned, but King Vegeta, not King Vegeta, what's his face? Whatever it is called, Majin Vegeta, King, all those hyper aggressive decks. If you know those are the banes of your existence and you're not playing those counters, that's literally on you for losing. Like there's answers in best of one. Players just don't. I don't know. They don't want to play it. So that's it on that. But 100%, part of the
I'll tell you in best of three, just play a real deck.
Yeah.
Play a real deck.
Because you're not.
If you want to play an aggro deck, play Red Broly. Don't play Majin Vegeta. Don't play Reboot Gohan. In best of three, play Red Broly or play a real deck. Like if you both those decks sucks. Yes, Reboot Gohan literally always tops every single event because people for some reason still just don't understand that they can't tap out on turn 1 and turn 2 against hyper aggro, which you should have learned after your first week of playing the game. But whatever. I've lost to Reboot Gohan before because like sometimes you just don't draw the negates. If Reboot Gohan goes first and you charge 1 pass, they can just win the game right there. Again, it is relying on your opponent to draw bad. So just play a real deck. You want to play a good aggro deck, play Red Broly. You want to play a real Dragon Ball deck, play something else. You know what I mean?
It's fact. If you need help with these decks too, I'll tell you this: in tournament, not in tournament, I have playing Dark Broly and I play 0 negates. I have yet to lose to Reboot. I 2-0'd all my Reboot Gohan players. So if you need help playing against that deck, bro, just PM me offline and I'll help you out. There's a lot of
I'll tell you right now. Yeah, it takes 30 seconds. Hard mulligan for any negate you play and brainwash no more. Pass your turn without spending any energy. Never lose again. It's that simple. I tell you, 30 seconds. Your opponent's going to attack. You're going to activate Power Burst. Your opponent's going to attack again. You're going to let them go in. They're going to combo their whole hand. If they're stupid, you're going to activate Brainwash. If they're not stupid, they're going to combo they're going to combo nothing, or they're going to combo some amount. You're going to Brainwash anyway, and then you're going to win because you're Dark Broly and they're 2 life. Easiest matchup you should ever have in your entire life.
Simple. Really speaking, it's simple. Like it's like you said, you don't type out turn 1, turn 2. You establish a blocker. Once you have a blocker out and you have brain, it's game, bro. Like I'm sorry, you're not doing anything except just wasting time before you sign a match. I ain't gonna lie to you. But the next question. So no change Zeno. Yeah, we talked about that. Android 18 too. So like, the Android 18 deck that one. I guess the new Genoma deck with infinite negates, more negates than freaking Invoker and Blue Baby put together, and just here's all these million tokens, 5-drop Frieza, cool. Swing for game. Like hot damn, that thing says mill infinite, mill the rest of your deck.
I do think the deck's bad, but at the same time, I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah. Wait, what deck? What are you talking about?
The Android
18 mil.
I think it's good because there's no way, if you're giving me those clone tokens, there's no way for me to get rid of them.
I think it's good.
They're just on board. Like I'm stuck with all those clone tokens. You gotta think about
it. You know what gets rid of them? You know what gets rid of them? Chains in it.
Besides that, bro, those clone tokens, they're chilling, dude. They're like, ooh, we 2 more. Ooh, there's 2 more. Oh, that means 2 more from your
deck. You can pop 1 a turn with Green Broly leader.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess that's it, right?
You can just take the field spell out when you attack with Green Broly leader.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but theoretically, like you want less tokens on the board.
If you kill the field spell, you get a lot less tokens.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Take it out.
I have literally never played the deck before. I don't know.
Yeah, they only 1-1. Yeah, it starts out there and it's just there it is. But let's see if we have any more questions. So we have no more questions. So I guess we could go on with closing statements. And then after that, once I get to mine, I'll look at the comment section and see if there are any last minute questions, comments, or concerns, and address those there. But yeah, I guess we'll start left to right, where it'll be Mr. Punisher, Giancarlo, Sublett, and then Kenny.
Yeah, I think the best thing you can do if you're listening is know what you're playing, man. Like if you're playing locals, best of 1, Yeah, Majin's amazing. If you want to have fun, just do the first 2 rounds, play the rest. I love Majin in that scenario. If you're going to best of 3 in Miami, dude, literally net deck. Like I net deck all. Like I know people hate it, but like I'll net deck Eddie. If you have a great deck I love, I'll net deck it, and I'll be like, oh, this doesn't work for me. Like I'll shiv off pieces, like, and I'll make it my own a little bit. But if I take it seriously, so know what you're playing. I guess that's my only thing.
Play that Dark Broly, B. I'll tell you right now.
That's
It'll
good,
be
bro.
a
Yeah,
very
Dark
nice
Bro.
time.
Yeah, I agree. I be net deck. I net deck all the time, bro. I don't care. Like it's just I don't need to be like the best deck builder to be like a good player. You know what I mean? So
It's
like
facts.
I
Yeah.
straight up, I got top 16 with Baby. I messaged Mike. Shout out to Mike Rontuti from Hermit Style and MRG. I just messaged him like, hey man, you got Baby list. I don't want to build this deck. I want to play it. I messaged John Lamont, blah, blah, blah. You know who I'm talking about. John
Yeah.
Labamba. I messaged him like, hey bro, you got a Vegex deck. You know, I know you're pretty good with Vegex. I don't want to build this deck, but I want to play it. So I'm net deck all that shit all the time. I don't care. Yeah, man, just like try to have fun with the game. If you're not enjoying whatever format you're playing in, like just switch it up. You know, I try to play a different deck every week because I'm a very fickle person. I like to keep things fresh. I get bored very easily, so like if I have to play a deck 2 weeks in a row, like I'm gonna be upset. Like I probably will never touch King Piccolo ever again because I played it so much. For like in the span of 1 month, I played it like 5 or 6 times, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not playing this deck anymore. I'm so bored with it. Like, so just like try to find ways to keep the game fresh. But like enjoy playing, man, because at the end of the day, like it's still a game. You know what I mean? Just have fun.
Facts. Mr.
So
Sublett.
I never have any closing comments. I don't know.
And that is the closing comment.
Don't get caught.
Yeah, I'm gonna say the same thing. Like Giancarlo said, just play different decks. Like enjoy the game. You're gonna find a deck that sticks with you. If you're good with it, play it. The other thing I will say is, follow the Vegeta Saiyan Army page because Frankie's gonna start his new saga soon.
The
So
best memes.
yeah.
The best memes originate from
after
that
after
page.
tonight, there's gonna be some hella memes. So
it's a really good Facebook page.
Yeah.
I
Thank
only
you.
joined it to talk shit to you guys after some random person talent does. But then after being in it for like a week, I'm like, yeah, this is a really good page actually. So it's a
Thank you, bro.
great Facebook community. One of the most active ones. That's the thing about it's hard to find active Dragon Ball communities. There's a lot of dead pages. So like there's a lot of dead Discords. There's a lot of dead pages. It's hard to find an active community. So like Hermit Styles, the great Discord, and then VSA Vegeta Saiyan Army is a great Facebook page. So great resources for Dragon Ball.
Thank you so much, bro. Appreciate it. Thank you.
And Frank is the best meme maker, bro.
Hey,
I checked the page
come
just
on,
to see
man.
if
Shit.
I checked the page just to see if like Frank posted a new meme sometimes.
Ken, you're number 2, bro.
I can
I'll
already
take
see
that.
tomorrow's meme. It's gonna be Giancarlo. It's gonna be like a wrestler. Giancarlo walking in with the maybe a face on him, and it's gonna be Eddie saying Hilaire with his mouth like this. Giancarlo swings, and I'm just like this. Heroin's lineage, and just takes his little takes his microphone, bro. I already see it coming. Yeah, I see comments saying Vegeta
It's
Saiyans
definitely that
Army
has happened
for
to me. It's
life.
not fun.
Um, but yeah, what I will say is it's like kind of the same like what these guys said, but I want to take it a step further. Choose one deck as your main deck, but I do encourage you to do what these guys said, where you have to play these other decks because when you play these other decks, and I'm not saying to bounce from deck to deck, but you want to have a basic understanding of, hey, this is what this deck can do, and this is what this deck can't do. Because realistically speaking, when you're playing against one of those decks, you always like in my head, right? When I played against Legends, I never played against Sublett. The only one person who I consistently had issues with beating was Legends, and I'm like, damn, he always seems to have these answers. But realistically speaking, the games I won, he didn't have them.
Typical
So
Invoker player.
exactly. So I picked up the deck, and then that's when I started to see, hey, this is like what he can and can't do. Like how easy it is to get it. Like it wasn't until I started playing in poker where I realized, okay, cool. On this turn, if he doesn't do this, this is where I know I can do this because these two energy are left open for this or for X. You see what I'm saying? So if you're struggling against a deck, or if you just want to learn against a deck, or if you expect a deck to be the deck going, like if you're, for example, your locals, right? If you know there's just one guy playing this deck, you can't like he's playing Blue Baby. pick up the Blue Baby deck and play it. And you will say, okay, cool, I struggle against it. This is their weaknesses. You'll find out their weaknesses really, really quick, and you'll be able to exploit that. So that's the one thing I want to say about but realistically speaking, it's just like I said a couple videos ago. Not only stick with one deck, stick with one color. Unless you just have money. I'm broke, bro. I don't have money to go play all 5 colors. I don't have money for that. So I stick with one color, which is black. That's why I had just all the black staples. So if you're balling a budget like me, stick with one color because that one color, Power Burst goes in everything. Unless you're my Dark Broly deck, you don't play Power Burst. But Power Burst goes in all black decks. You're gonna have your Dark Power Mans. You're gonna have your Sun Goku True Fighting Spirit. All that stuff it goes around everything. Your Vegeta Super combos, it's all staple. It floats around everything. So pick a color and stick with it, especially now with these Reapers coming out. And one thing I do want to point out is these cards, guys. If you have cards, please dust them off and make a nice binder. Because with the announcement of these in real life regionals, what's going to happen is when you go to events now, you can act. You don't have to say how much you want for this, how much you want for this. It's going to be like a stock market again, where you can open your binder and say, okay, cool, I have this, I want that. What do you want? It's going to be a trading card game again, where we can actually go to the events and not just compete and have fun. You can get the cards you want, even if you're just a collector. You can get cards you want now because people are going to have access to these cards, especially with the announce of these second edition stuff and all that good stuff. Clean up your binders, guys. Like, you can go to events now. It's just more than just competing now. It's fun and actually trading cards. Because I felt like the last event I went to, it's literally, okay, who has these cards? I'll give you 20. I'll give you 50. I'll give you this. Yeah, ball and raise, I'll give you 30. But now instead of I'll give you this, I'll give you this. Okay, cool. Look at my binder. What do you want for this? And you'll find
I haven't traded in a minute. It's been a long time since I've actually
it's just cash. It's
traded
like,
in this trading card game.
Exactly. It's $50 on TCG player. Hey, I'll give you 40 for it. I'll give you 45 for it. Like that's literally how it's been. But now you'll be able to just trade it and all of that good stuff. The last comment we have, Kings of Means, Frank. That's why I love One Dark Broly to test my other decks. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Bandai's gonna have to do something with the deck, but right now, if you have the deck, I just advise you to pick it up and do not do what I did. I got lucky, and my boy Ken hooked me up. I saw my brainwash being just stupid. I don't know why. I thought it was from a recent set, but it wasn't. It suddenly pointed out to me last time. Keep those cards, guys. Unless you plan on giving up black, keep those cards because literally those things spike. Like they spike. So really, so you can keep those cards. And just keep whatever color you want. That's all I could say. And have fun. So we will be back on today is what, Monday? Yeah, so we'll see you guys on Wednesdays. Guys, thanks for coming out and have a great night. Boom.